Hi friends, Amber from Sustainable Jungle here, where we share sustainability tips, tricks, hacks, products, brands, and stories to better our planet. I'm going to take a quick flight with you on how to use and clean one of our favorite plastic-free food storage solutions, and it has us positively buzzing. We're talking about beeswax wraps. First off, what exactly are beeswax wraps? Well, they're simple pieces of cloth, typically cotton, preferably organic cotton if it's us, coated in beeswax or soy wax if you're vegan, and often some other combination of plant-based resins like pine resin. The idea is that because the wax sticks lightly to itself, you can fold and mold them in pretty much any shape that you need, making them a 100% natural, biodegradable, and obviously totally non-toxic replacement for things like plastic wrap, aluminum foil, and Ziploc bags. And using beeswax wraps is a breeze, so here is a quick step-by-step guide. You're going to start by unwrapping your beeswax wraps and laying it on a flat, clean surface. Now, it's worth noting that it's the heat between your hands that's going to help mold the wrap into whatever shape and form that you want it to be in. So we're going to start by rubbing it lightly between your palms, kind of just crinkling it up just to get that wax warm and pliable, and you'll start to feel the difference when it gets to that point that you want it to be. Then you're going to place the wrap over whatever it is that you want to wrap up or cover. So for instance, if we're covering a little bowl like this, I'm going to place it right over top of that. I like to press down along the rim so that we kind of get a nice seal there, and then I'll tuck the wrap all around itself and kind of hold it there for a few minutes, well, not a few minutes, a few seconds, just to make sure that that sticks to itself, and when you let it go, you get a nice seal on your bowl. If you're wrapping up something like fruit halves or a sandwich, it's pretty much the same principle. You're going to wrap your wrap in the beeswax wraps, folding it in on itself, and then just use your hands to kind of hold together those seams right where the beeswax meets. Make sure it's nice and warm and get a good press, and boom, you have a nice plastic-free sandwich bag. And that's really it. And when you're done, you're going to give it a quick rinse in cold water using a natural mild dish soap and lay it flat to dry. Just be sure to avoid hot water, which can melt the beeswax and cause it to run off. And you also want to avoid scrubbing with anything too abrasive, because that can also cause the beeswax to come off. In general, I actually just prefer to use my hands and scrub it really nice and easy like that, but you can also use a soft bristled dish brush. Generally speaking, beeswax wraps are good for about 2 years, depending on use and proper care. And once they start to wear out, you can either recoat them in beeswax yourself, in which case you just need to buy some beeswax pellet and melt them over it using a clothes iron or an oven, which is what we find is the easiest way, or you can simply toss the whole wrap in your home compost pile and replace it. Now these days you can find beeswax wraps pretty much anywhere, and you can even make them yourself, but because beeswax isn't always sourced from ethical channels, we wanted to tell you about 2 of our favorite trusted brands that meet all of our ethical product criteria. First, we have Superbee, and if that name doesn't tell you that they make some pretty super beeswax wraps, allow us to. Superbee isn't just a certified B Corp, they're actually a social enterprise located in northern Thailand, where they pay all their employees, which are largely Thai women who otherwise have fewer gainful employment opportunities, 20% more than the Fair Trade Association's suggested living wage. They don't just make standard beeswax wraps either, but they also make beeswax bags and beeswax wrap rolls, so you can custom cut your wraps to the exact sizes that you need, and then you never have to buy another roll of that pesky saran wrap again. No matter which option you're going to choose, every single one is going to feature a GOTS certified organic cotton base paired with sustainably harvested pesticide-free beeswax, organic coconut oil, and tree resin. Now, we've tested ours in the fridge and the freezer, and we found that they seal equally well in either one, and they keep our food fresh in any of these environments. Next up, we have etee. Now, etee is a zero-waste store with lots of plastic-free essentials, but beeswax wraps were actually their very first product, so that should say a little something about their expertise on the matter. Now, they come in 3 different colors and sizes. As you can see here, this is what they're going to look like when you first order them. And they're going to range from small, which are great for covering bowls like this, green, which are good for larger bowls and covering halves of fruit, and then the largest ones, the blue ones, which are great for sandwiches, half loaves of bread, etc. Now, etee is based in Toronto, which is where they craft all of their cruelty-free and mostly vegan products, obviously beeswax wraps being an exception to that, and they craft them in a renewable energy-powered facility. Their products on the whole have helped stop 100 million plus single-use plastics from entering landfills since they started, and they partner with a city program that promotes diversity and supports marginalized communities. Now, the base of each wrap from etee is also made from organic cotton, and that's going to be dyed with food-safe, sustainable dyes, and then coated in a certified organic beeswax, coniferous tree resin, soy wax, and organic jojoba oil blend. But what makes these stand out from others is the added organic cinnamon and clove essential oils, which adds just a hint of scent and some added antimicrobial power to your food storage. We promise it won't make your tuna sandwich taste like a pumpkin pie. In fact, that's a great thing about beeswax wraps in general, is they won't impart any flavors on your food, nor will they take on any flavors from your food as well. That's a beeswax wrap from us, but before we go buzz off, be sure to check the video description below for written resources on everything that we've talked about here today, including more beeswax wraps brands you can check out. And if you have some favorite brands or tips for using beeswax wraps that we didn't cover in this video, drop them in the comments and be sure to sting that subscribe button if you haven't already. Thanks friends, I'm Amber from Sustainable Jungle, wishing you a beautiful day.